Hello everybody, this is Anthony here from Rethink Marketing and I'm with Helen Melville of Margaret River Consulting. Welcome to This Week in Business. Can't quite get that hand right moving off screen to wave everyone here, but nevertheless, we've got an interesting topic this week which Helen's bringing to us. Helen's an expert in the field of both human resources and marketing, and there's been some big changes in the casual employee regulations recently.
Yeah, so just thought it might be worth talking about because the legislation did change on the 27th of March, and I have been talking to a few clients who were not aware of their obligations under this new piece of legislation. So just thought, yeah, we could have a quick chat about that. So Fair Work. So first of all, this advice and information only applies to employees that are under Fair Work, under the Federal Industrial Relations System. It doesn't apply to those who fall under the state system. So just to be aware of that. So I guess there's three things that have now changed. All casual employees must be provided with a information statement, similar to a new employee who would receive a copy of the National Employment Standards. Casual employees now also need their own information statement.
And that's available from the Fair Work website?
It is definitely available from the Fair Work website, and everything that we're talking about today we will post a link to so people can get this information. The other change is that Fair Work have now defined what a casual employee is, and I am going to read this just to make sure that I don't get it wrong. So a casual employee is a person if they accept a job offer from an employer, knowing there is no firm advance commitment to ongoing work with an agreed pattern of work.
Okay, so there's a lot of room, I guess, within that to actually break what most of us would consider as a casual employee. If I had a cafe, for example, and I took somebody on as a casual employee and said, look, I just want you to work on, Monday to Wednesday during school hours.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't sound like a casual employee, does it?
No, they are not a casual employee because they are working regular days and they're working regular hours. So they do not conform to the definition of a casual employee.
Mm. But even if I said, look, I'm taking you on as a casual, but you're going to get 35 hours a week with us, that's probably not a casual, even if I'm going to spread those hours across the week at irregular times.
Correct, because they are still receiving regular hours of work. There is an understanding that they are going to be paid for a regular amount of hours per week. They're not a casual employee. They would be considered a part-time employee.
And just for people who may not be aware of this, what are the main differences from a entitlements perspective between a genuine casual employee and a part-time? Helen?
Sure. So part-time and full-time employees receive paid leave. So they're entitled to paid annual leave, paid personal or carers leave, and they also have entitlements to parental leave and various unpaid leaves under the Fair Work and National Employment Standards. Casual employees receive a loading on top of their hourly rate. Normally it's about 25%. To allow for not receiving those leave entitlements. So the difference in an hourly rate between a part-time or a full-time employee and a casual employee is normally about 25%.
Okay.
And the third thing that they have changed is that there is now a term called casual conversion, which means that an employee who has been employed with the same employer for 12 months and has been working regular hours is now allowed to request that they move to be a part-time or a full-time employee. It's up to the employer to confirm or deny that request, but they need to be aware as an employer that if that casual employee is still working regular hours, regular days, regular times. After they have submitted that request and it's denied, they can then apply to Fair Work, and the employer could be at risk at needing to reimburse leave entitlements, which is not what we need our small businesses to be penalised with. So really something we need to be aware of. And like we said, we'll include the link for people to have a look at this. So the most important thing at the moment is around the information sheet for casual employees, and that all employers have an obligation to provide them with that piece of information.
Yeah. So that's a huge thing, the opportunity to request that conversion. And if you are offering your employees, or casual employees in particular, those regular and dependable hours, I guess, coming through that, you could be exposed to some big costs there. And I guess that, the employee, without at the risk of sounding negative, they could be double dipping because they're getting their 25% or getting their cake and they're eating it too with the leave loading. So
so it's definitely exactly, definitely something to keep an eye on. And there's always, I guess, when you're having a look at what your business requires from an employee perspective and the hours that are required to be worked to achieve those work goals, there can often be the requirement for a genuine casual employee. But I guess from a business continuity perspective, it is also worthwhile having a look and thinking, okay, well, if I can employ somebody for 10 hours regularly per week, it's also dependable, and you can come to rely on that employee to be there for that time and to get the work done. A casual should only be coming in, school holidays, when it's seasonal, when there's, a high workload or a high priority. They're not a long-term solution. Casual employees should only ever be a short-term solution.
This is really important advice there for anyone who's employing people, to make sure you get on top of this. And my first suggestion is talk to somebody who really knows this space inside out. Helen's one of those people, and we strongly advocate for the capability that a HR expert can bring to your team. It's a big thing not knowing what you don't know, and so this is great to bring this to our attention as to anybody who's out there in business and become aware of. Any closing comments?
Just for employers to have to be aware that they do have to provide that information statement. We'll provide the link, and just to have a think about what your business actually needs. If there is an opportunity to convert some of your casuals into part-time employees, start thinking about it. Start getting the steps in motion to do that, because it will only help you out in the long run, and make sure that you don't get hit with any penalties.
Certainly save surprises. Thank you very much for tuning, everyone, and we'll see you again next week. It's great to be online again.